Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie. I'm finally here. Oh, I don't know what happened. My internet went off. So let me go right up to the beginning and say hello to her. I thought I was sat here and I was thinking, hi. Right, I'm going to go up to the beginning and say hello to everyone. I was sat here thinking, oh, that's funny. There's nobody waiting. Well, Chumba, I'd seen a message from Chumba. And I was thinking, nobody's here for this live. So obviously nobody wants to see me. And then I suddenly realized that the internet was off. So anyway, to cut a long story short, I have no idea why it went off. I didn't even realize it was off, but it's back on now. So let's go back to the beginning. Hi David, hi Jackie, hi Chumba again, hi Tickety Boo, hi Angela, hi Desi, hi Purple Star. Hi, Heather. Hi, Mia. I can see you've been chatting between yourself, which is nice. Hi, Monica. Have I said hello to you, Desi? I think I have, but I'll say it again just in case. And Monica. Princess. Hey, are you okay now? Because you were at the doctor's, were you, or the hospital the last time that I think there was a live? Are you okay? Is everything okay? Oh look, you're Tina. Hi Tina. Hi Vanessa. Yes, we're going to talk about the inquest. Hi Lynn. Going down. Oh, look. Rachel. Hi Rachel. Nicola McCarthy. Hi. Yes, I saw her status, Nicola. I'm going to talk about that. Hi Jennifer. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hi Karen. Hi the other Rachel. No, Nadia is not Huda London. No. Right. Well, I'm going to get to Nadia. But anyway, I'm trying to get down to say hello to everyone. Hi, Hannah. Please don't let me. Hi, Charlie. Don't let me miss anyone. I'm trying. Hi, Silver Moon Warrior. Hi, Dixie. Hi, Lady Dog Lover. Hi, Louisa. Hi, Nicola Marie. Oh, looking great. I talk about feeling like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. Honest to God. That is just literally good lighting. I've been messing about with lighting. I feel like I literally have been dragged through a hedge backwards. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, Jim. Hi, Janet. Hi, Edel. Hey, hi, Courtney Love. Hi, Heather. I might have said hello to Heather already. Hi, Cuba Lakeland. Maria from Florida. Hi, Rabbit Man. Hi, Silver Moon Warrior. Oh my God, am I going to get to the end? Hi, Viva Lola. Hi, Caroline. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jennifer. Don't forget the thumbs up. Yeah, because I won't get around. Oh, sorry to hear you've been poorly, Silver Moon Warrior. It's probably all the stress, but I don't know. Maybe you ate something funny. Right. Hi, Joe Parker. Thank you, Monica H. Hi, Helen Berry. It has been a full-on few days, Mia. It has, and I know we're removed from it. Obviously it's not our, but we feel like Nicola's our family. That's the thing. But anyway, I'm going to talk about that as well. Oh, lupus. Oh, God. You've been through the wars, haven't you, Princess Tippy Toes? It sounds like, hi, Caroline Calvert. It sounds like you've been through the wars. Yeah. Well, do you know what? There's so many people, aren't there, going through things. You never know. It's like a bit of a sort of, what's the word? you know, people say, oh, be kind, but really you should be kind. Because sometimes, and I'm the world's worst for doing it, you know, if people aren't kind to you, you sort of flare up, don't you, and like go back at them. But sometimes you have to remember you don't know what's going on in their lives. You know, people are always struggling with something. Some people are struggling with more things than others, but of course, everything's relative. Oh, thank you, Silver Moon Warrior. I need some new necklaces. I was saying that today. It probably was all the upset and stress. It's been a very funny day for me today. Not so much feeling ill, but there's an expression that my son uses sometimes. It's like discombobulated. It's like just nothing makes sense. The best teacher ever. Yeah. Yes, according to me, according to those experts in the inquest. Yeah, I hope you're feeling better soon, Silver Moon Warrior, as well. Hi, Sheila Jones. Don't worry about being late. We're still just saying hello, which is, it's just fibromyalgia. You know, I have a student, Silver Moon Warrior, and he's finished classes now because he's really good at Spanish now, but he's a doctor and he specializes in fibromyalgia and how to manage the pain, etc. How to manage it. It's difficult, but you can manage it, but it's difficult. Hi, Dixie. Gosh, I've forgotten who I've said hello to now. Hi, Essex Boys Outlaw. Debbie McLean. As it's still warm there. It's still warm. Oh no, Debbie, you're not in the UK, are you? You're somewhere else. Right, I think I've got to the end of the hello. So I just wanted to play this because the way I feel about the inquest, honest to God, today I've read so many things. I've been on so many different. I've lost all the because the internet went off. I'm going to have to get everything back up again. I had it all lined up, ready to show you. Oh my God, I'm not going to have that, am I? Yeah. No, hang on. Sorry. Let's see if I can find it. Where will I find it? Oh, so my goodness. Everything will have gone now because my internet went off, so I had to turn off the computer and turn it back on again. Now I won't be able to find anything. Maybe it was fate. What? Okay, I will go onto YouTube and find it again. I'm not going to ban Essex. What's going on? God, my computer's going weird. So you won't get banned by me. The only thing, what you're going to get banned by me? Why? Have I missed something? Right. I've got to, it's totally thrown me off with the internet going off because I've lost everything that I had lined up to do. So what I'm going to do is go back to my notes, go back to the good thing about old school is when you have notes is the internet doesn't go off and sort of ruin it all. You've got it written down. So first thing I want to say is thank you so much to all of you. And I honestly do mean that because yesterday or this morning, I now have over 2,000 subscribers. And it's like a bittersweet moment because obviously I'm glad to have over 2,000 subscribers. But I know that part of the reason that I've got that many subscribers is because of the Nicola Bulleys case. I know that. So it's like a bittersweet thing. It's like, obviously, I'm glad I've got those subscribers. To finish off this week, I will be sort of, we're going through the aftermath of the inquest. I won't be doing videos about Nicola Bulleys every day, but I do other things. I do other crimes. I want to look at other missing persons. I like to do, I'll be going back to the serial killer Sunday, etc., and the things that I do. So, but the main thing I want to say is thank you so much, because I think you're enjoying my content. That is a milestone, isn't it, David? That's a proper milestone. And the other thing is, thank you so much. I love this chat, like, I know every now and again we get some idiot in there, but not very often. And that's what I like as well. I like the fact that people are happy, in the chat, and they feel comfortable saying things, and they don't feel like they can't say things and someone's going to call them an idiot, or if they do call them an idiot, then they've got to go, etc. So there's that as well. There's lots of things that I feel really happy about. So I want to say thank you to everyone for that, because the most important thing you can do to support my channel, as I always say, is, hi Pauline, you haven't missed anything yet. Because I haven't even got, through anything. It's my God. It's the typical live stream. Everything goes wrong. Whenever I do live streams, something goes wrong. Tonight it was the internet went off. So everything that I had prepared just has disappeared. And unless I can sort of, sometimes it comes up and it says, find the thing. Anyway, so I'm just going to go with it. Right, so the first thing that I did have, and I'm going to find it because I wanted to play this. That's it, a safe space to chat. A safe space to chat. So the only thing I would ask, and you that are regulars with me, you will know, I don't, because of the things that have been going on other channels, and I found it quite distressing actually. I've actually unsubscribed from all of the YouTube channels that I was subscribed. Well, not all, there's a couple, but see, already I'm getting into a thing of, I don't want to be in a position where I'm saying, yes, I like that channel, or I don't like that channel. And then if I'm subscribed to that one, then the other one's going to think, well, why aren't you subscribed to me? And so even the positive things that you say about other channels, they can result in like, well, why are you saying that about them, but you're not? And it's just sort of blown my mind just recently. And I find it quite upsetting, even though I try not to get involved in it. Sometimes I can't help it. If somebody puts a comment, I can't help but sort of, because that's the way I am, I can't help but say something. So my best way is, please don't mention other YouTube channels, positively or negatively, because I just don't want to get into that debate about it. I just want us to be here doing what we're doing, and whatever's happening out there, well, let them deal with that, so that's just a thing that I would say. Now, I can't always keep up with everyone's comments, but certainly the comments that I'm trying to keep up with, if anybody if you see a comment disappear, it's not because even necessarily I'm against, I'm not saying anything against you. It's just I don't want that hassle. Now, and what I've said, if you want to email me, because I know a lot of you see things on other channels and you think, oh, Vicky would like to know about that, or Vicky would find that interesting. I love that, but you can do that on my email, which is vickymariechats@gmail.com. So if you want to send me, and believe me, I've been having so many emails, and I'm so grateful because it's been really useful information. And I've tried to respond to everyone. I really do. I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is go on the emails, because anyone who's taken the time to email me, I want to acknowledge that. But I do think, as Des is saying, that it's the negativity I cannot cope with, honestly, because it makes me negative, because I absorb whatever energy is going around. If it's positive, I can absorb that, and it's great. You get like a high from it, don't you? But if it's a negative energy, you end up feeling sort of down. Oh, thank you, Kate. My email is on my channel info page, Sheila, but I'll put it on here. Let me put it on here as well. I mean, it's very easy. It's Vicky Marie Chats, just the name of the channel. I can't do an at because for some reason this keyboard won't do it. At Gmail. I can't believe I was so organised and then the internet went off. Because I had all this organised. I had it all organised. All right, so this is what I wanted to put on first. Let's see. Why can't, maybe it'll come up with, normally it comes up with, such and such closed down. Do you want to restart your whatever? And I do. And the day that I want to do it, it's not coming up as that. So I want to tell you my opinion on the inquest. The more I've thought about it today, the more I sort of got annoyed is not the right word, because I do understand that the internet, sorry, not the internet, on the internet, I'm thinking about it. The inquest verdict, I do understand that that's be good for the family because it's a closure for them and they're moving on, but I still do not understand how it can be a verdict of accidental death. And then when I looked on the actual result, it wasn't even a narrative verdict. It was just Nicola Bulleys died of accidental death or as a cause of accidental death. And sorry, it is just, I'm going to show you what it is. It's this to me. Some of you will remember this. Some of you will know what this is. Maybe some of you in other countries won't know what it is.
Jackanory.
It's Jackanory. Do you all know what Jackanory is? It is just... Princess Tippy-Toes, no, we can't get a transcript. I've got the next best thing to a transcript of the inquest because I've got all the screenshots of everything that was said. But it's Jackanory. It's like, the more I think about it and the more I looked over it, it was like, it's a story. It's a complete story. It's like, there is no proof. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to Nicola's family and all that, but there is no proof that it was accidental death. I agree there was no proof that it was foul play either, but where is the proof of Charlie doesn't know what Jackanory is? Well, it still exists, Jackanory. It's still on the TV, but it hasn't got that same let's go back to the I love it. I used to watch it when I was a kid.
Until he was 4 years old.
That's just what it made me think of today. Okay. Maybe that, yeah. Oh, where have I gone there? It's a story. It's like Jackanory was a program that used to be on when I was a child, where someone would tell stories, like hi Samantha, where people would tell, like I don't know. I think it's still on today, but it's got a different theme tune. Like anyone of my age, that theme tune straight away would take you back. And if you had a vivid imagination like I did, you'd sit there and you'd listen. There'd be different famous people telling stories. And that's what it is to me. It's like storytelling. Yeah, it's not true. It's not true. The inquest, all of it that you look back over. Anyway, let's have a look back over it. That'd be the best thing to do, so we can see where we're going. I'm so angry that I had everything set up and now it's all gone. Right, where am I going to start? So many things, so many things. Right, let's start with, like, we can't get away from the fact that the forensic pathologist found that Nicola died of drowning. And that's accepted over all the, and every sort of site, if you like, that I've looked at today has reported like that she died of drowning, the water in the lungs, etc. Asphyxia. I think when they first described it as asphyxia, it sort of took us aback because I certainly didn't realise that asphyxia can be drowning as well. It just sounded like somebody had been suffocated, but I suppose anything that takes the air out of the lungs. But then there's a discrepancy between what some people say. So on Mark, so I had a good old Mark up on the Twitter. Let's see if I can find him again. When Mark Williams Thomas was sending his tweets out from the inquest, there's a couple of things that I want to show about him, because he was tweeting during the inquest, and he tweeted at some point, just find it, about her having blood on her. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if I can share this with you. Now, Mark Williams Thomas tweeted this. Post-mortem finding summary. Rigger has passed, covered in mud, blood stain on chin. This is something that has intrigued people, because it's hard to see how someone could have a blood stain on their chin after 3 weeks in the water. Now, just let me make something clear here. I'm not here tonight trying to say anyone necessarily murdered. I don't know what happened to Nicola. I don't know. What I'm on here talking about tonight is why it should have been an open verdict. I don't know. She may well have died of accidental death. What I'm trying to say, my whole point of what I'm trying to say, and I want people to hear this, I want the haters to hear this. You might think, oh, you're trying to, I'm not trying to incriminate anyone. I'm trying to say there is no proof that Nicola died an accidental death. That the verdict is Jackanory. The whole thing is Jackanory. When you look into it, everything was what might have happened, what could have happened, what possibly happened. And for me, I would say, how is that? How can that be a verdict? So if you come to a court, I mean, at the end, I know coroner's court is not the same as a criminal court or etc. But are you telling me that if you took someone to any kind of court and you say, oh, well, he might have murdered her, or she might have killed her child, Or, well, and if it had happened, this would have been how. That is what this inquest is, all the way from start to finish. Even those drowning experts, what they were saying is what would have happened if she fell in the water. This is what makes me angry, because it's all what would if. Nobody saw her fall in the water, so it's just as likely she was pushed in the water as if she fell in the water. There is no, to me, you tell me what is the difference. There's no evidence for either. So if there's no evidence for either, it should be an open verdict. That is what I think. And honestly, I do feel for the family. I know that it's easier to have a closure, but and when we look at the lawyer for the family virtually told the coroner what verdict to give. That makes me a little bit angry, and it makes me angry when friends of Nicola are having a go at everybody else who's just trying to know the truth of what happened to Nicola. If I was Nicola's friend, I would be wanting to know what happened to her, not what might have happened to her, what could have happened to her, I would want to know what happened to her. This is what makes me angry. So Mark Williams Thomas said, post-mortem findings summary, rigor has passed, covered in mud, blood stain on chin, early marbling effect on parts of the body, decomposition. Now, I haven't been able to find that thing about the blood stain on the chin on any other site. So why is, each site that you look on that's giving details of the inquest, they're all giving sort of different accounts, leaving some things out, putting some things in, that straight away. And then they're saying, oh, but don't speculate, just move on now. Oh, yeah, we'll move on now. But why did she have a blood stain on the chin? Now, he hasn't mentioned the bruises. But she had bruises. He doesn't mention the bruises anywhere. If I go, they all say pathology very clear. She had not been drinking, had no alcohol in her body or no consumed alcohol in her body. Now, they can, be horrible about social media people all they like, but we've been saying that from the beginning. We never thought she had alcohol in her body. Now, I want to go, this, as I say, I did have all this set up, but obviously, if I go into my history, I'm going to have it, aren't I? Right. Sorry because I had it all set up, it should have been easy. Yeah, on the other sites, such as Leeds Live and Manchester Evening News, etc., they do mention the bruises. When it comes to the, I've got to scroll down. Sorry, I did have it set up, but not now. Let's see. Let's see. Where's that gone? Because they definitely, oh no, so that's gone. So the pathologist said the cause of death was drowning and she was alive when she fell into the water, etc. But there was, she did mention bruises. She said she had bruises, but she didn't think they were like instrumental in her death. I wonder if I've got it on my... I've got did screenshots of all these things. Trouble is, I'm going to have to look at that again. I've got so many screenshots, so it'd take me ages, and I don't want to. But I think we all know we saw it, and there was bruises mentioned. That's disappeared off here now. See, these are the anomalies. If it's so clear cut, why are there things that have disappeared? Anyway, Then we had these two experts, didn't we, who came on. Let me put you so that you can see what I'm looking at. Share this tab instead. Yeah, then we had the two experts on saying Nicola could only have held her breath for 1 or 2 seconds. It would have been a fairly rapid incapacitation. But fair enough, is again, would have been if she had gone into the water. And this is Jackanory. I'm sorry, but this is total Jackanory. This is not evidence. This is saying what would have happened if she went into the water, if she fell in the water, but we don't know that she fell in the water. So what's the point in this testimony? Honest to God, I'm a bit sort of flabbergasted by the whole thing. And then the drowning experts gives evidence. Nicola Bulleys' body may have sunk under the surface of the river after she fell in. May have. We don't know. She would have lost her buoyancy. Her body would have sunk. We don't even know that she fell in. Swimming against the current would have been impossible. Honest to God, I'm really angry about this. Now, if you watch the video about the river, the PC Thackeray that went into the river, who's probably 3 times the size of Nicola. So how that had any, and he went into the river in April, which is like 2 months after she went in the river. How does that have any relevance whatsoever? Honestly, how does it have any relevance to what actually happened to Nicola? Because it's, he's a completely different person. He came over as being totally, almost didn't know what he was doing. He's supposed to be an expert, but did you watch it and think, oh yeah, this is a real expert? Let's hear what Mark Williams had to say about him. Because he had, and he's not my favourite, but the only reason I don't like Mark Williams Thomas is because of what he says about Oscar Pistorius. I keep going on about it. But let's see what he says here about PC Plod.
The first piece of evidence we heard was from the pathologist who carried out the post-mortem. Her analysis was that there was no third party involved. Nicola Bulleys sadly died as a result of drowning. That evidence as a result of what was in her body, in her lungs. And she says there was no injury, there was no trauma injury to her body in any way at all, no broken bones. There was alcohol in.
Now, she did say there was no broken bones, there were no fractures. But she did say, see, he's not mentioning why is he not mentioning the bruises? Why? I don't understand this this sort of narrative of mentioning one thing and not mentioning another. The pathologist said clearly that she had bruises, but she didn't think that they were. I'm going to find them.
Entirely consistent with bacterial when your body dies. There was also paracetamol, but again, that was consistent with normal medication. So very clearly from the pathologist, her assessment is that there was no suspicious circumstances in relation to Nicola Bulleys' death, and it was as a result of drowning.
Yeah. Now, it seems like it was a result of drowning, and I think that's probably true. The problem that we don't know is how she drowned, surely. Right, I'm going to have a look at the chat, because are we all okay in chat? There's no problems. Yeah, the bruises. Maybe she got, and also, I don't actually know why would you have bruises? You don't get bruises after you die, do you? You don't get bruises, because bruises surely come from blood flow and things like that. So I don't think you get bruises, but anyway, we'll see. Well, say we'll see. We've had the result. There's nothing we can do about it now. But all I'm doing here is I just want to explain why I'm not happy with the inquest. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't change the verdict. But I just want to say that I think it is ridiculous almost. I mean, not that I think there was proof of foul play. There's not proof of foul play. But at the end of the day, there's not proof of accidental death either. So in my view, it should have been an open verdict. Yeah, that's my feeling. Right, let me look at my notes so that I remember. Oh gosh, yeah, and so I never did my housekeeping again properly. You can join, just let me do a bit of housekeeping. Don't forget to like, that's the most important thing. To like the video, please, and subscribe if you feel like subscribing. If you want to go any further, you can join and become a member. That's the link to be a member that's on the screen now. Now, somebody was asking earlier about the Facebook message that has come out from Nadia Fell to. I have a screenshot of that and we'll look at that in a minute. But this weekend for the members, I am going to be doing a video about because it's just suddenly, I have never known such a very strange friendship group around Nicola that nobody who was interviewed cried. Nobody, none of her friends cried during the interviews. And Nadia Fell, as I said, I will be doing an interview where I'll say more, but she made that post or that tweet where she said about offering Nicola a safe place to stay. She's now saying that, oh, that was just something that I did, blah, 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 blah. But at the time, she didn't say that. She let everyone speculate that it meant something else. She never came out then like she is now and say, no, when I made that tweet, it just meant this, that, and the other. Now she's coming out and saying that. Well, why didn't she come out and say that earlier? And maybe she could have stopped a lot of speculation. I'm also a little bit suspicious. I don't think she was the friend, she makes out. Sometimes the people, they blame us for saying things, but sometimes people are like virtue signalers. They just like the attention. Was she that good a friend of Nicola's? I don't know, because I don't know her. I know on her Facebook there's no picture of her with Nicola. So was she that good a friend, or was she just an acquaintance who just got involved in it all? She's very aggressive. She's, I don't think, from what I know from people who were there at the inquest, she was very aggressive towards people. Would Nicola or her family have really wanted anyone, to be so aggressive? The coroner said that nobody should cause any upset or anything, but that didn't only mean like the people that were there that didn't know Nicola personally. That's as well for people who did know her. Don't cause a scene. Don't disrespect the inquest. That is everybody for that. Anyway, right, okay, so what I'm going to show you next. So we're going to look at the man in black. The man in black. So we're supposed to accept this as an open verdict, even though there was a man in black scene. So let's have a look. Do they not trust that witness? Yeah, here we go. Let's see. I'm going to present this. Okay, let's just see if you can see this now. Yeah, so the man in black. Well, we didn't know anything about this, did we? Nobody knew anything about this. I'd never heard, I mean, gosh, I probably read about things more than anyone, but I can miss things, just like there's so much information at one point, wasn't there? But nobody knew about the man in black. But Richard Fife, this dog walker, unable to attend the inquest, but his evidence is being read out. It explains he was walking his dog on the fields close to where Nicola was last seen. He knew her to say hello to, as they often see each other while out walking. Between 9:10 and 9:20, he saw Nicola from a distance. She was looking at her phone. Mr. Fife saw a male he referred to as Man in Black as he walked towards where he saw Nicola and assumed he was waiting for a lift. Now, I don't know exactly where he was waiting for a lift, but anyway, Mr. Fife then said he saw him again on the way back and he was dressed all in black and possibly a beanie hat, and he was about 6'1" tall. Mr. Fife thought it was strange he was still there according to his statement. He then got into his car and drove off. When he drove past where the man in black had been, he was gone. After hearing Nicola had gone missing, Mr. Fife reported his sighting of the man in black to police. Well, now nobody has said who this man in black was. I don't even remember the police appealing to find the man in black. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Now, Rebecca then went on to say, didn't she, that she didn't think there was any foul play because there was nobody strange in the area. When she gave her testimony later, there was no evidence of there being anyone strange in the area. Well, who is this man then? And why was it even read out? If Richard Fife could not attend the inquest, but his evidence is being read out, why was it even read out if it was then just dismissed? In fact, it wasn't even mentioned, at the end in the summing up, etc. I just don't get it. So he says that. Couple of let me just, because then there's another incident which again I had set up, but yeah, there was, let's see, images, see if I can find this guy. Now, there was a man suspected of grabbing a woman on the canal. So whether we think it was anyone, everyone's got their theories. People say, it might be someone from the caravan site, it might have been Paul, or it could have been this guy. But at the end of the day, it was a man in black with a beanie hat, 6'1". It could have been him. But apparently they decided it was nothing to do with him. So they must have looked into him and maybe had an alibi or whatever. Let's just have a look at the actual. So, yeah. Police released CCTV image of a man suspected of grabbing a woman on the canal towpath in Barrowford. There he is. Well, he could literally be the guy that's described. I'm not saying he is. What I'm saying is we don't know who the man in black was. So it could have been him, could have been Paul. Paul fits the description. Could have been someone completely different. And if I was Paul, I would want to know who was that man in black, because I wouldn't want people thinking it was me. Or it could just be someone completely innocent, but they could have given some information about what happened to Nicola. And the main point of what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, then why was it an open verdict? How was it an open verdict when there were things, you know, that mean it shouldn't have been an open verdict? So that was the guy. That was the man in black. And that guy that was on the CCTV, as I say, I'm not saying that was him. I'm saying it was someone. Or are they saying that this guy, the witness, is a liar? Is that what they're saying? Richard Fife, he's unable to attend the inquest. Why is he unable to? Someone said he died, but I don't know if he died or not. I don't know. It's another don't know, isn't it? Why don't they just say, well, he's unable to attend the inquest because he's subsequently passed away? Or he's unable, why is he unable to attend the inquest? I mean, Penny was there by Zoom. Why couldn't he be there by Zoom? Is he dead? Is that what they're saying? Well, say it, spit it out, say it. Don't say, oh, he's unable to attend the inquest, but his evidence is big, and then just leave us hung. Like that man in black, that was, as I was covering it live, that was a big thing, wasn't it? It was a big thing. Because we'd never heard of it before. So he either didn't exist or he existed. And if he existed, we want to know what he's got to say. Did he see anything? Is he a suspect? Did he push Nicola into the river? You know, there's too many anomalies for me. That is the point that I'm trying to make. It's not because there's any evidence of foul play. There isn't, but there is just as much evidence of foul play as there is of accidental death. Where is the evidence for accidental death? And how do you give a verdict of accidental death when you have no evidence? I just don't get it. Right. Now, I want to look then at the screams. 2 witnesses heard screams. Let me just bring this up for you in case you can't see it. Okay, are you all okay here in chat? I'm just making sure that you're all okay. No, that's what I'm saying, David. It was accidental death, so it should have been an open verdict for me. Right, everyone seems okay, I think. Okay. So I'm showing you that. Okay, so 2 witnesses heard screams. So not only you've got the man in black that's not been accounted for, you've got 2 witnesses that heard screams. So 2 women have told the inquest into the death of Nicola Bulleys of hearing a scream. So 2 women hearing a scream. So we've got Nurse Helen O'Neill, said she was with her dogs in the garden of her house on Allotment Lane. I heard a scream. It's not an alarming noise. It was just over in a couple of seconds. So it wasn't a prolonged scream. It was just like a scream for a couple of seconds. And then she says, I'm quite used to hearing the children in the school out back, but it was not that noise. I vividly remember thinking it's unusual at this time. In my head, I had 2 females walking along by the river and one jumped out on the other. And I was saying the other day, you know, quite often I hear screams. You know, sometimes when teenagers are messing about or kids are messing about, they do scream. But the thing is, she heard it, the other lady heard it, and then someone died in the river, and there was a man in black. You know, I'm not saying that it's all connected. What I'm saying is it gives the possibility. It's the possibility that it was connected. I vividly remember thinking it's unusual at this time. In my head, I had two females. Oh, sorry, I've already read that. A second witness, Veronica Clayson, a housewife and club secretary for the village tennis club, said, I was just about to get into the car and I heard a scream, a very short scream, and my immediate thought was somebody is having a bit of fun at the back of the graveyard. Miss Clayson said it was an inhale scream, like a sharp intake of breath. So you make a sharp intake of breath when, yes, maybe somebody jumps out in front of you, or maybe you're falling into the river, are you? I don't know, but it's just too it's too confusing for it to be a verdict of accidental death, in my view. It should have been an open verdict. Then there was the evidence of Penny, etc. I'm not going to. And then there was a thing about the Fitbit stopped recording her steps at 9:30. I thought they said it was 9:22. It recorded its highest, its quickest heartbeat, but it stopped recording steps beyond 9:30. So that's quite 18 minutes. That's quite a long time, isn't it? Right. What I want to go up to now is to tell you why. Right. There's a couple of things. Let's see. So the mental health clinician said Nicola did not seem depressed. But it's one thing that came out in the inquest was about Nicola's. She was very slight, wasn't she? She was only about 6 stone. I mean, 6 stone, that's very, very, very slim, isn't it? You know, it's almost anorexic, really, at the end of the day, isn't it? It just makes you wonder. I don't know. See, the feeling I get is looking at the photos as well. If you look at the photos of Nicola, a lot of the photos from sort of last summer, they're lovely photos, and as the photos go on to Christmas, etc., and pass, you can see that she's not happy and she's strained and things don't seem right. You can see that if you took it in a photo, what's the word, like a slideshow, if you like, of the photos. And I find this very worrying, this thing of her going to the hospital because she said she fell over and banged her head, and going to have an x-ray on her head or a scan on her head. I find that quite worrying, and I find it quite worrying that that on the night of the welfare check, she said she didn't know what had happened. She'd be quite easy to drug, wouldn't it? I'm not saying she was drugged, but she would be quite easy to drug because she's so slight. It wouldn't take much, would it, to make her yeah. Anyway, I don't want to go into that because I don't know. I have no evidence, but I don't know why I don't want to go into it. It seems like it don't matter whether you've got evidence or not. You can just say, oh, well, this is what happened. That's basically what the coroner has said. This is what happened, even though I've got no evidence. This is why the coroner has done it. The lawyer then spoke up. Sophie Cartwright KC, who's the lawyer for the family, what occurred on the riverbank probably sometime shortly after 9:18 was a tragic accident for Nikki. It is clear from the evidence that at 9:18 Nikki increased the volume on the Zoom call, and it appears that what happened after must somehow be linked to the location of the dog harness found on the steep part of the slope. Was it? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. That's Jackanory. There has been much rumour, suspicion and speculation, but she's still speculating. The family are of the view that it has been allayed by the evidence. The family are comforted by the evidence that Nikki's death would have been very soon after she entered the water. So bearing in mind that this is Paul Ansell, who said she definitely was not in the water. The barrister urges the coroner to find at approximately 9:30 a.m. Nicola Bulleys, on the balance of probabilities, died in the river due to an accidental death. She also urges the coroner to consider that the screams heard are not connected to Nicola's death. How does she know? And they do not have relevance to how Nikki came by her death. This lawyer has basically told the coroner what conclusion to come to. That's what's happened. And for whatever the reason might be, I don't know. For me, it's not right. Hi, Vicky. So, what are we thinking about this? You know, what do we think? It surprises me. It really surprises me. Oh, so now we'll go now on to looking at. We'll look if I can find it. I've got that many screenshots, but I will find it. Hang on. Bear with me a minute. You can talk between yourself while I find this screenshot that I want to show you. Right, not that one. Right. Now, on these Facebook groups, there's a lot of old crap. There was more crap on there today. Somebody saying, oh, somebody had said this, and it's like the guy that works down the chip shop swears he's Elvis. You know, do you remember that song? That's what it's like. That's what people do on Facebook. So you've got to pick through it, and you've got to find the things that are right. Some things are true. Now, what I didn't like about Nadia's post, because she was the one that tweeted that about, I can't find it. She was the one that tweeted about, you know, offering Nicola a safe place, that caused all that speculation as why was she offering a safe place, etc. She then went on Facebook and said, oh, it's terrible. I did find that a minute ago, so I can read that one out. You know, when she must have applied for a place in the inquest, she went on whinging, complaining, moaning that she hadn't received a place, and all these people were going to, can't find that particular one, but I can find, all these people were going to the inquest, and Nicola's friends weren't going, and blah, 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 blah. Then suddenly she puts on a post, oh, there must have been a glitch in the system, as myself and some others who wanted to be there at the inquest have now had an email and have got a seat. This is such a relief. No doubt it's going to be tough, but I'm really glad we can be there. She's then, you know, today, I don't think I'm going to read it out on here because, you know, because I just don't want the hassle of her. She sounds like she's a person that would give you quite a lot of hassle. I don't think that would be really appreciated maybe by the family to be, you know, I know that she can be aggressive because I know people that she's been aggressive towards. So I'm not going to encourage that. I will do that on my members, a members video later in the week. Because out here it's just so open and everything, you just don't know who's watching. So people might be watching who just want to cause trouble. But the thing is, what do you think about the man in black? Now, we don't know, because we don't know anything about the guy, the witness, who didn't turn up at the inquest, but his testimony was read out. As it was completely discounted, is what they're saying is that they don't believe it. There was no man in black. If you're watching this and you live in that area and you normally take your dog for a walk by that river, will you feel safe now? knowing that there was a man in black seen that's not been accounted for, that the police seem to be dismissing as if he never existed? Do you think, you know, if I was walking by that river, I wouldn't be walking there on my own, that's for sure, knowing that there might be a man in black. You know, the thing is, there may be nothing in it, but what I'm trying to say is we don't know there's nothing in it because the police have just told, you know, Rebecca Smith said there was nobody suspicious in the area. But probably what she means by that is, because she goes by, well, obviously the CCTV, the only way she would know is by actually what people see, which this guy saw a man in black twice. And she knows by CCTV and she knows by phone data. Well, if this guy didn't have a phone with him, there's not going to be any phone data shows up. We know that there's plenty of places that people can sneak off there and get out without CCTV. So what, you know, what are we to think? Is it safe then? Is it completely safe now to walk at St. Michael's? As long as you don't go too near the edge? I don't know. No, I had a, gosh, why I had everything set up. I had a photo, because I had a photo of the bank. Well, I think you all saw, if you're watching this now, you probably saw the coverage that I put on yesterday of the police, you know, the diver, PC Plod, as I call him, PC Thackeray. I don't see how Nicola, why would she have gone right to the edge? Why would she have gone to the edge? Because to fall in there, she would have had to go to the edge. And there are steps to come back up. And that was the picture I was going to find. Let's see if I can find that. Sometimes I think I've got too many pictures. Let's see. Ah, there you go. I found that. Where Nicola is supposed to have gone in, have a look at this. So these are the steps. Yeah, these are steps. So there are steps down to the river. Now, you know, I don't know. She could have fallen in and not been able to get up. What I'm saying is that was a lie as well. The policeman, or when he actually went into the river down the steps, and there's the steps to come back up out of the river. But then he said, oh, there was no way of getting back out of the river. There's steps. Goodness sake. Oh, sorry, that's my book. If you want to learn Spanish, that's my book. It's available on Amazon. Yeah, and this was another photo. I don't know if I can. So see where this guy is here. This is where the harness was found. Yeah, this is the bench. So did Nicola come all the way down here, right to the edge, fall in the river, just fall in the river and drown? So she came she put her phone on the bench. She came all the way down here. The harness is here. She then came all the way here and fell in. And then not only that, she didn't sink to the bottom like people are supposed to do when they drown. She got carried away by the current, apparently, floated, but nobody saw her. Good God. Oh, it's difficult for me to make the pictures. I couldn't make the picture bigger. But, you know, only 33 likes. Can I have some more likes, please? Because I think that, yeah, well, I've got there's 261 people in watching at the moment. So if you don't mind giving me a like, that would be a big help, but only if you like it. But that's it, Phyllis. The officer that was floating down the river, apart from being probably 3 times the size of Nicola as well, he was floating. Well, he wasn't. He was walking down most of it. He only floated for a minute. And he's living and he's got air in his lungs. You know, so it's, oh, thank you. Thank you, Princess. I'm going to put that up there, please. Thank you. So yeah, doesn't make sense, does it? That's why I picked the Jackanory theme tonight, because it doesn't matter when, you know, we don't know. The thing for me is we don't know. We still don't know what happened to Nicola. All we know more from the inquest, we know more about the timeline. We know more about the, obviously the manner she died, but we don't know still how she died. And I don't care what anyone says, we don't. We don't know that it was accidental death. They can say it all they like, but we don't know. Let me just look at my notes, because I feel like they're, yeah, and I still think it's quite interesting for friends to think that people who want to know what really happened to Nicola, not because we're thinking bad of anyone in particular, we just don't know, but how that is a bad thing, And the young lad that I was talking about yesterday, his mother would probably love everybody. She's the one that did get an open verdict, doesn't know what happened to her son. She would love people to be trying to find out what happened to her son, you know. So what is this sort of downer on everybody, as if I never said anything disrespectful against Nicola, ever. I never said she was a drinker. I didn't say she was struggling. Oh, that was the other thing. I just wanted to look at again. Now, when I was covering the inquest the other day, first of all, it was said that it was Anne-Marie Fletcher who rang Paul to tell him that they'd found the dog, etc. Whereas on his interview with Dan, Paul had said it was the school that rang him. Anyway, then later they said it was the school, and I can see that on my video, where it was confusing, because 1 minute it was, what, did Anne-Marie phone or did the school phone? And then someone said, well, maybe she was a receptionist at school, maybe. Anyway, looking at this, let me just, oh gosh, where's it gone? I'm sure things keep disappearing. That's why I screenshotted things, because I know things are going to disappear and we won't be able to find them. But anyway. Yeah, what happened to those screens? Oh, so there was I was reading it earlier. There was a thing about, it was saying again on here, but it's now disappeared, that Anne-Marie was the one who phoned Paul. And as soon as she phoned him, he said, well, she's been struggling. And that's not coming up now. That's the trouble. As days go by, they'll start taking down, but, you know, and just leave like the more sort of salient points, I suppose. So that's the Man in Black. Yeah. So I'm going to compile all these screenshots that I've got so that I can put it in order for you, and I'm going to do that. It's just time. Just time. Don't have much time at the moment. It's been one of those sort of weeks, hasn't it? But so yeah, basically my point that I'm trying to make, for good or bad, or I don't know why I'm trying to make it sometimes, is I just don't think it should have been an accidental death. I don't see the evidence for accidental death. All we know is Nicola looks like she was at the side of the river there, if it was her, because nobody saw her apart from a distance actually by the river. But let's suppose, for the sake of argument, it was her that the guy saw from a distance. Nobody saw her go into the water. Nobody saw her go into the water. So there is no evidence of accidental death. There's as much evidence of accidental death as there is of foul play. And I'm not saying there was foul play. What I'm saying is there's no evidence for anything. And the other thing that I don't understand is what Red Bull Vodka's just said there. I don't understand why the man in black was not mentioned before. And if he wasn't mentioned before and he wasn't considered to be relevant, why mention him at the inquest? And I don't understand why the screams weren't mentioned before. And again, if they're not relevant, why mention them at the inquest? Yeah. So there you go. All I know is if that was my, hi Debbie, if that was my daughter, that was my family, I would want, and I don't, I don't like that welfare check. It's a lot of different channels were making conjectures as to who had rang the police. A lot of people thought it was the neighbour. I didn't think it was neighbour. I thought it was Paul who had rang the police, because I thought Paul would have done that. If we believed, that there was Paul was complicit in some way. That was quite a typical thing that someone would do in that sort of situation, to gaslight people. Now hearing what I hear now, it was Louise who rang the police, but we still don't know why, or the ambulance. We don't really know why she rang the ambulance. She was obviously concerned about Nicola, but what was Nicola doing that she was so concerned about? We don't know that. Well, it hasn't, it may have come up in the inquest, because we won't know everything, all the whole transcripts of the inquest. And then when the doctor went to see Nicola, she said, I don't know what's happened. So Nicola didn't know why she felt like that, why she was in that condition, whatever condition it was. Because, of course, supposedly the body cam wasn't on either. So we still don't really know what happened that night, do we? So that it gives me a bit of misgivings, that, and the fact that she'd been to the hospital because she said she'd fallen over and banged her head. That's quite a typical thing that women sometimes say, or men, I suppose, because they don't want to say what's really happened. Actually, you're right. There's been a lot of people falling in rivers or canals, or I don't know if there are more people than normal, or we're just noticing it more. Maybe that was always happening, but we didn't notice what was happening before. But now we notice it because we've had this case, and this case has sort of intrigued us. So that might be why. Yeah, I did wonder that she might have been spiked, but, again, maybe we'll never know. There's going to come to a point where we do have to just move on, because we haven't got any choice. But it won't stop the way we feel, and trying to be threatened. I don't like this sort of threatening, whether it be by friends or family or the mainstream media telling me I can't have the feelings that I have, or I can't. I'm not disrespecting Nicola in any way, shape or form. I'm genuinely wondering what really happened to her. So if that's bad, then I'm bad. But that's just the way I am at the moment. I do feel there's still a lot more to this, whether we'll ever know it or not. probably not, maybe not, I don't know. But there'll come a day when her daughters are older and they are going to start looking at it. And, you know, they deserve to know what really happened. And I understand why the verdict was requested and how that would be more acceptable, because they want an end to it, and you don't know what legal things are involved in it. You don't know if insurance is involved or what's involved. We just don't know. So I can see it for that point, but to have a lawyer virtually, or telling a coroner what result he should come to or what verdict he should come to, I am telling him to disregard the screams. I'm not even mentioning the man in black. Just, it's horrible, isn't it? And then they're going to turn around and say, oh, but don't speculate. But if they don't want people to speculate, they have to make things clear. So, yeah. Anyway, that's what I've got to say. And thank you all for being here. I have got some, I'm going to prepare some videos, as I say, certainly as well. Some of the videos that I'll make I will probably put on the members, because I don't, you know, there's a lot of, oh, it's right, Anna, I do care. Whether people think I care or not, that's up to them. You know, if they don't think I care, well, it's just frustrating, because you just think, the more I hear about it all, and the more I think of whatever condition she was in the end, 6 stone is you know, that's so, there's something wrong there, isn't there, really, when a grown woman is 6 stone. I mean, God, you know, I think I was probably about 6 the last time I was 6 stone. I don't know, but it struck me out. I thought, oh my goodness. So she must have been she looks unhappy in the last few pictures, you know, and you'll see, if you are one of my members, you'll have seen the photo that's on there where it looks like she has got a bruise. Will we ever know? She had bruises on her body. The pathologist said she had bruises on her body. And why did she have blood on her chin? I don't understand how blood can stay on your chin after 3 weeks in the water. You know, so there's so many discrepancies, and that's what makes us all suspicious, and because we do care. Okay, you know, we do care. It's brought up so many issues. The Nicola case has brought up so many issues. Domestic violence, possible, you know, we don't know, but possible. Menopause, alcohol problems, depression. It's brought up so many issues. Some of it, that's positive, because it means we're talking about these things, and that's good. But some of it is very sad, because we know what makes me the saddest, and what made me so angry when all that news came out about her vulnerabilities, was that Nicola cannot defend herself. Nicola cannot turn around and say, well, actually, no, it wasn't like that, or it happened like this, or, you know, she doesn't have that voice. So, oh, thank you, Alicia. Well, you have to ask the question, don't you? Oh. Huda, thank you so much. You have to stop doing that. You shouldn't do that. Thank you. We can do an assessment with a person intoxicated. Paul texted at 9:15 when she went in the river. I didn't like the text that he gave, you know, when he texted her and said, have you got lost? That was strange, wasn't it? Oh, and that was another thing, Bellsby. She was wearing, her sister was wearing the dress at the inquest that Nicola got from her parents at Christmas. It was a bit odd, that, wasn't it? Or is it, am I... Oh, Nick, that's a possibility, isn't it? You know, will we ever know the full truth? Will we ever know the full truth? He didn't mention it in his interview. No, he didn't. Huda, you're right. He didn't mention that text in his interview. And apparently he phoned it, was it 6 times? And then he made that message, but he didn't mention that in his interview. And also in his interview, he didn't say that it was Anne-Marie that had rang him. He said it was a school. Yeah, there was. Let me see if I can. Oh, I bet I won't be able to find it. Do you know? Do you think there's somebody looking down on me? There was on Twitter. Let's see if I can find it. I don't go on Twitter much, but every now and again I do. And something came up on there. Yeah, there's no way I'll be able to find it, but there's a lot to consider, isn't there? But we're told now we've got to close down now for a while. Maybe things will come out. Maybe things will still come out. Who knows? If there is any insurance and if there are any suspicions whatsoever, depending on the amount, the insurance won't just pay it. You know, the insurance, you know what they're like. They don't like, if you've ever had any experiences with insurance, they like to take your money off you, but they don't like to pay out. And if they can find any excuse not to pay out, they will. So that's right. The man in black, Charlie. Listen, you don't live near there, do you, Charlie? So you don't have to worry about the man in black, because he might have been someone completely innocent. He might just have been a fisherman. Might, you know, could have been anyone. My point is, why was he not appealed for? You know, so you've got a witness who said there's a man in black. The police never came out and it said, we're trying to look, you know, can you come along and we can eliminate you for if you've ever watched anything about the Claudia Lawrence case, you know, which I'd quite like to cover that case, but it's so complex and it feels like we'll never get answers of that from that. But there is a CCTV of a guy walking to the end of a road, isn't it? I don't know if you've ever seen it. And somebody walks past and he stops. So it looks suspicious because it's like he doesn't want to be seen. He stops and waits for the person to go past. And the police have released this CCTV and said, are you the man? If you're the man in this CCTV, please come forward so we can eliminate you from our inquiries. That's what they should have been doing for the man in black. Hi, Chumba. I'd like to. There's so many that I'd like to. I've covered Nicola Ray, Debbie. I have done a video on Nicola Ray. Katie Kenyon, and the actual Lancashire police have done a video on Katie Kenyon, haven't they? That's another very sad case. There's so many sad cases. That's the thing. And somebody had messaged me today asking me about a guy to cover a case of a guy, which I've got written down somewhere. So many cases I'd like to do one day. You know, if I was doing this full time, I'd be on every day doing something. Listen, I'm going to go because I'm going to go and get some dinner. But thank you so much again, as always, for being here with me, because it's good for me. Today's been a weird day. I hope this stream has been okay. I felt a bit strange through this stream because today it's been all in my head and what I was going to do. And then maybe something else come up, and then I'm thinking, oh no, should just leave it alone now. And then I'm thinking, oh no, but what about this? What about that? It's just been a very confusing day. I'll be on live tomorrow night, because I always do a live, don't I, on a Friday night, but get back into a normal routine. Probably trying to do, obviously we'll end up talking about Nicola, I expect, at some point, but I don't want that to be necessarily the focal point tomorrow night. We'll try and think of something else that we can talk about. And then, but if you want to talk about Nicola, you can always talk about Nicola. Charlie always says, "Don't get upset." I'm not feeling upset tonight. I'm feeling hot and tired, but I'm not feeling upset. And thank you, Huda, again. Thank you all for being here. I honestly do appreciate it more than you know. And thank you. It is now over 2,000 subscribers, which is, as I say, it's bittersweet because I know part of that reason is because of the Nicola case, but it still is nice to have 2,000 subscribers. But the nicest thing is the chat. So thank you so much for all being nice to each other in the chat and for being nice to me. So thank you so much. And always remember to live and love very carefully. You are the most important thing, because unless you look after yourself, how can you look after anybody else? And until I see you all again, may your gods go with you. Thank you. Thank you, Huda. Thank you.